How you guys doing? So I just did like the 9 o'clock service and they were kind of rowdy. So are you guys up yet? Are you ready for church? Okay. Woo! Woo, that was awesome. Some cheerleaders out there. Just happy to be out of the house, people. Anybody? All the mothers, right? We made it. We made it. We made it. Happy Mother's Day to you guys. I have 2 beautiful children. I have a 6-year-old and a good one. And okay, let's pretend we like our kids equally. Okay, whatever. Kids, if you're here with your parents today, you're the one they like, okay? Let's get that straight. I've done 3 services with you guys, and this is the first one where I've had people in the front row. So these are super Christians. All right, fantastic. Apparently at the other 2 services, they were saving seats for you guys. So thanks for coming. But no, I love my kids, and I love your childcare here. That is like a well-oiled machine, right? Your childcare, that is awesome. I've never been to a church where you could leave your kid for the first service and the second service. And by the way, maybe I'm not supposed to say that out loud, but you can. I just didn't know you could leave them on Saturday and pick them up on Sunday afternoon, which is amazing. And I love being here. I've been here since yesterday, and the weather is, thank you for the lovely welcome. I've always wanted to be in Wizard of Oz, so thank you. Thank you for that. But no, the childcare thing has always been a bit of a challenge because my first child, who's been in a lot of childcare, she's what the teachers like to call spirited. Is anyone ever active? Anyone know the code? Anyone out there? Possible serial killer? I'm not sure. The teachers are they have to be nice about it. But the thing is, ever since we left her in childcare when she was a baby, she's very gifted and all the kids want to be around her. So they would crawl up to my baby and the other kids would force their flesh into her mouth and make her bite down on them because they were jealous, you know? And so that makes church awkward. And that's why we've been to 47 churches and this year. But I don't like the churches that give you a number. I know you do that here. I don't think it's fair to the mothers of predators because we are not going to focus on the sermon, right? If your kid is 232, you're not thinking about the Lord as my shepherd. You're thinking, don't call 232. Don't call 232. And I don't like the churches with the pager, right? Because if they give you a pager and if your kid is eating somebody, you got to leave the service. I don't think that's fair. And this one church got mad at me because I didn't respond to the pages in time because my husband and I were at a movie. And what? Where do you think that couple is in the 3rd row that's empty seats, please? They dropped their kids off last night. They're like, I'm feeling led to go to Starbucks. I don't know where I'm telling you. I think when you should pick your kids up, I told the childcare workers, I know they're watching this, I'm like, ask the parents what their favorite part of the sermon was and see if they know, right? I know, I'm getting us all in trouble. But this is a day to celebrate mothers. I want to celebrate my mom because without my mother, Barbara, I have no act. So thank you. And she's not here. And I wish she was here because your worship team, don't you feel like you're at a concert? Like, isn't it like a party? Right? Yeah. They're awesome. And my mother is, she's from the South. Do I have any Southerners here? Not like Southern Riverside, though. Like Southern, you're like, oh. Where are you from? North Carolina. Yes, you get it. I mean, they're very Christian in the South. More Christian than all of us, right? We live in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so when my mother dropped me off in Hollywood, she's like, you're going to end up in church with Tom Cruise. I know it. Have him sign this t-shirt, you know. So my mother, her church is very conservative, and my mother just quit the choir last week when they added a tambourine, okay? So she is, I know, half of you are like, she should. But the choir at my mother's church, they sing so high that only small animals can hear them. And my mother is always the woman that goes for a solo that no one wants to sing ever, you know? And she's like, how great thou art. And like you can hear God going, not so great, Barbara, not so great. Not so great. But I mean, I love my mother. It's just, they don't move when they worship on the inside. And so I remember when I took my mother to the Gospel Music Awards and I was part of the hosting and Kirk Franklin was there and casting crowns. And my mother was at the Grand Ole Opry during the worship and she went like this. And I was like, Barbara, did you just get healed? Why are you moving? She's like, well, I didn't go to Curves today, so I was multitasking during the worship. So shout to the Lord, you know. But I know somewhere in Alabama, my mother is shopping today. She's such a big shop. She taught me how to shop because my mother had the gift of bargain savvy, right? You know your mama has the gift of bargain savvy if your favorite shampoo growing up was called Holiday Inn, okay? If your baby blanket said Delta on it, that's okay, I'm first class. And, yes, my mother has like the H.J. Howard Johnson monogram towels. I'm like, Mama, that is stealing. She's like, that is not stealing, Kerri. It's only stealing when something is bolted down. Like our TV. Now, that was wrong. I tell you, told your father that was wrong. Now, how many of you had the mother that took you to the movies and you never knew that they even sold popcorn or soda at the movies? Because you had the mom with the trench coat and the duffel bag purse, right? You know who you are. You're sneaking in the 2 liters and the Mexican food. You're all stopping off at the 99-cent store before moving, yeah. You got your bootleg Dr. Pepper soda, right? My mom's like, just plug your nose, it's $1. My mother does everything at the dollar store. Christmas shopping at the dollar store. Food shopping at the dollar store. I had to draw the line when she bought the Atlantic smoked salmon from Detroit, okay? I'm like, Mama, it's called salmonella. Put it down. I'm telling you. And she buys the Precious Moments frames that are the reject ones, like the I Love God, G-O-D-D-D, you know, the white out on it. Telling you, my mother she's so funny. And I mean, I wanted to be a good mother like her, and I just learned a lot of things. And I travel with my kids all the time, and sometimes it's tough. I remember when my little one was a baby, I flew from Atlanta to Los Angeles, and she cried the whole flight for 4.5 hours, screaming bloody murder. And the woman next to me was giving me dirty looks for 4 hours. Oh, I'm sorry. I became a mother. It's all my fault. I'm a bad mom, lady. I'm like, look, ma'am, what would you have done differently? She's like, well, first of all, I would take the baby out of the overhead. I'm like, we're going green, lady. We're in a recession, okay? And I know there's mamas out there today because they always come up to me. They're like, you know what I do? I give the baby a little NyQuil before the flight. Where are you? Where are you, you drug dealers? The problem starts at home, okay? I'm telling you, I would never drug my children. I would do what my Nana used to do and just give the baby a little Jack Daniels. Totally works. But I try to be a good mother, and when I only had 1 kid, I think I had more time to be a good mom. Where are the parents of 1 child, right? Where are you? These are the parents that try, okay? These are the parents that try. You try so hard. I did too, and then a few years later, I was like, I have screwed this up. Let's start over. And then you have that second kid, and you care a little less, right? You know what I mean? The brain cells have been sucked out of you. Mommy's tired, okay? I'm tired. I had to answer my husband honestly yesterday. He says, what do you really want for Mother's Day? What can me and the kids really do for you? I was like, y'all could leave. I would like to have a meal by myself and use both hands. It's a big dream. Maybe go to the bathroom, lock the door. Woo, crazy. So just know if you haven't gotten your wife anything, you know what you can do. Scram. Okay, so not for like a long time, just like 3 days. Just for us to miss them, you know? But no, I mean, with being a mom, it's an interesting thing. And I don't want to only talk about, I appreciate singles. I know, you guys, I don't want to all be about moms today. So where are my single people at? Where are my single people? Yes. What's up, crazies? Okay, so I was single for a long time. I had a ministry. It was called Bitter, Party of One. And Because the church people make it hard for the singles. You guys gotta, I'm telling you, I was just a single girl in church, minding my own business, and all my little church friends, us on holidays, they had to rub it in, and they'd walk by me going, praying for you, lifting you up, okay? Remember, Kerri, it's not men rejecting you, it's God protecting you. I didn't meet my husband, Rick, till we were 14, and I'm so glad we waited, okay? You gotta wait on God. I'm like, I am waiting on God, Tiffany, and I'm also waiting on eharmony.com, okay? Don't be judging me, people. Some of you look familiar out there. Nothing wrong with eHarmony. You take that 2,000 question quiz, you send them $40, they send you a man. Got to give it up for the singles. Got to give it up. I'm telling you. And I just remember also, I was talking about having one kid. I remember when you have the second kid doesn't get the stuff that the first kid got, right? You like food, every day. And the second kid doesn't have a lot of pictures taken. You just take one picture and you Photoshop it into something really awesome, right? I'm like, this is your first birthday party in Paris. Look, there you were. Then we took you to the moon. That's how much we love you. Then some of you are crazy enough to have the third kid. I feel so sorry for the third kid. Is anybody here the third kid in the pecking order? What are you, ma'am? You have 3 kids? I bet you don't even know where that third one is, probably. You don't even care about the third time. You're like, just come back at some points. Bible study, Tijuana, fantastic. I'm telling you. But I remember I tried to raise Lucy organic, never let her have sugar. And then I did the dumbest thing that any parent could ever do. I let her spend the weekend at grandma's house. Oh, don't be clapping. You know why you want that baby. Give me the baby. You know why you want the baby? Because you want to pay your kids back for the teenage years, don't you? Give me the baby. Give me the baby. This is the same woman that raised me like a prison guard on lockdown. Now she's Nana. Nana has no rules. She's feeding my 9-month-old Coca-Cola to settle her stomach. Nana loves you. Have some candy. You're going home in an hour. Have as much as you want. Nana loves you. Yeah. Remember, you don't have to go to bed. Nana said so. She was sugared up for 48 hours. She came back to my organic house like a crack addict in rehab. I go to the bank, I pull out my M&M's, Mommy's medicine. She knew. She's like, that's candy, Mama. I need it. I'm like, I need it, you little whippersnapper, to get through the day with you. I'm telling you. Now, you guys, I try to be a good conservative mom. I don't believe in spanking your kids in public where you can get caught. No, that's sinful. And I remember it was my pastor who told me, they're like, we don't spank our kids. We use a wooden spoon. Because it's not us doing the spanking, it's the spoon. And you guys, that holds up in a court of law. And, but when you have one baby, you would never spank him. I'm like, I'll never spank her. Then she took Maybelline mascara and fingerprinted all over my white kitchen cabinets. And I had this moment. I turned into my mother. And I was like, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. Do. And I couldn't grab a spoon quick enough, so all I could grab was the icing spreader for cake. And I was chasing her, and she's like, that's for cooking. And my husband's like, how would you know? Nobody cooks in this house. Then the next day at preschool, she's like, I love you, Mommy. Will you please not hit me with the knife again? It's like, don't worry, sweetie. Mommy's going away for a long time. So I brought a couple of things with me. This shirt reminds me of my mother. I heard her on the phone talking to her friend about another friend's issues. And I was like, Mama, that's sin. You can't do that. You can't talk about issues like that. She says, baby, you're wrong. We're Christians. We don't have issues. We have prayer requests, okay? I was like, all right, you need therapy. She's like, no, I don't. I have small group. It's totally different, okay? So this is my mother's small group shirt. It says, remember, it's not gossip if your head is bowed. Start a movement. Start a movement. And the second one is when I became a mom, my pastor was like, you know, you want some good advice? I said, yeah. He said, you need to read Proverbs 31 in the Bible. Now, that's a chapter in the Bible that's always going to be brought to your attention by a man, okay? Because no woman's going to read that on her own. And so it's a chapter about how to be a godly, perfect woman. And I'll tell you something. I read the whole chapter, Proverbs 31 woman. It did not speak to me at all, okay? I did not receive it. I don't rise early, and I don't plow, okay? So it says she gathers her food from afar. I was like, that's takeout, Jesus. That is takeout. So if there's any other women that feel that they may never be a Proverbs 31 woman, this is my ministry, Proverbs 32 woman. She rises late, and her kids make her breakfast. Yes. I'm going to give that to you on the end there. See what happens when you sit in front? Okay. So you guys, I have some DVDs and CDs, and I wrote this book. I'm really excited about it. It goes with the movie Mom's Night Out. It's a devotional, and I have a book called Guys Like Girls Named Jenny, and it's a book for singles, and it's about all of my dating life, and it's special to me because it's about my ex-boyfriends, and I use their real names. And so you can look them up on Facebook. It's a read-along adventure. And all the proceeds go to our charity, Feed the Children, My Children. And so before I get out of here, I'll just share one more thing that my daddy taught me. I want to honor fathers today, too. My dad was an Italian Catholic father, so if I have any of my Italians here, I was raised with good Italian values, guilt and intimidation. And so we had 3 rules before we left the house. 3 rules. 1, if you drink, you die. 2, if you do drugs, you die. 3, if you kiss a boy or even come close to it, not only will you die, you will burn in the eternal fires of hell fire forever and ever and ever and ever. Now, preschool's going to be great, kids. We love you. You guys, thank you so much for sharing your morning. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.